Rainbow Six Siege is a brilliant game with a very steep learning curve. From learning operators' abilities, multi-floored maps, which walls are penetrable, likely hiding spots, and so much more. It can be frustrating when you start out, and while you do learn the game and improve your skills, your frustrations don't really go away. They just get replaced with something else that pushes your buttons. Don't worry, you're not alone. So find solace with your fellow Siege players' grievances in 8 things Rainbow Six Siege players hate with the Leaderboard. And if you want even more Rainbow Six, check out Daily Rainbow Six Siege. Number 1. Joining a game just in time to lose. You're starting your latest play session. You jump right into casual, and after a minute, you're loading up on house. The match loads up, and suddenly you realize the score is 0-2. The reason that there was room for you was because someone else ducked out. Sometimes you turn it around, and we've all seen heartbreak defeat pop up before. Maybe this is your turn for a hard-fought victory. But starting with such a disadvantage is more than enough cause for some folks to take the revolving door into the match and immediately out. Even worse, sometimes you join that third round way too late and all you can do is spectate as your team fails to secure the objective and the team chat turns to pointing fingers. Hey, at least you're up in the queue again and next match, it's your turn to fight. Or so you'd hope. Number 2, spawn peek. Ah! Boo. Alright, you're in. You've got your operator, and you're a proud, independent thermite who don't need no man, ready to break down some precious reinforced walls. Your drones have scouted out the defenders, even rolled an objective that has a valuable wall exposed to the outside. Your brimstone charges will get maximum efficiency with the safe setup of being outside, away from roaming defenders, while you're daydreaming about your spot as the team MVP, as well as the chat being filled with compliments from both teams acknowledging your tactical skill. You forget that if you're close to the enemy team, the enemy is close to you too. Pop, you go down, and you're only in the courtyard. Your body falls in slow motion as you watch your entire fully stocked loadout hit the floor. Your utility belt full of stun grenades, clips of ammunition, extra drone, and both brimstone BC3 exothermic charges. But how, you say? Which tactical strategist took me out with impressive skills? No, wait. The camera zooms to show a cracked barricade with some cheeky defender poking with what they wish was an ACOG scope, and you can practically hear them laughing maniacally. Sure, killing the enemy team before they kill you is the name of the game, but when all you've done is walk around the corner? Off. Ubisoft has been trying to combat this evil practice since day one, and while updates to maps and spawn locations have decreased its rate of success, it's still a strategy plenty of folks use on the regular. When coming at your objective, many will call to watch for peekers because you just never know what kind of people you're playing with today. But hey, defense is next, and surely that'll be your round. Number 3, they're just trying to keep our location safe, just not their teammates apparently. Alright, you got a deadly biohazard to keep safe. Get those walls reinforced, put up those barricades, and set those traps. We've got enemies incoming and only a short amount of time to get ready for the ball when a red line of text appears. You've been spotted. The drones are here and the objective's been located. At this point, the enemy knows who you are and where you are. Time to get strategic. So you think. Your teammate, however, decides now's the time to reenact the Three Stooges sketch. That is, if the Three Stooges ever had high-powered shotguns. Drones fly by the room at tremendous speeds across the floor, which often means you won't watch where you're going if you focus on your hunt too hard. Sometimes your crosshairs will cross the drone and a teammate at the same time. And sometimes your points for destroying an enemy drone are negated by the charge of friendly fire, and starting your team at a disadvantage in the health department. Or worse, your teammate hits you, but the drone lives. Or even worse, the drone lives and you don't. Sure, drones are incredibly useful to the attacking team. They gather valuable information for them, and not being ID'd is invaluable intelligence denial. But sometimes the damage is done. The objective has been found, my dude. The enemies have scanned the room multiple times, so just help me put up the rest of these barricades instead of taking a chunk out of my thigh. Thank you. All right, well, back to waiting for offense. Number 4, 6-word story. Operator gadget for sale, never used. Back to offense, back to thermite. You checked your windows this time, you took out a couple cameras, and now your team is making its way to the objective. you find a perfect wall to breach, cleared of mute jammers or bandit generators, but as soon as you're setting up your exothermic charges, a defender flies around the corner and takes you out. Your moment of glory is stolen once again, but even worse, your charge is up on the wall. It's right there, and the trigger was in your now dead hand. Now the brimstone charge is just as dead as you. A lot of attacker devices are deadly, able to turn the tide of a fight, initiate a fight on your terms rather than your enemies, or ruin a defender's well-laid plan. Many defender devices are traps, anti-device mechanisms, or other reactionary tools for personnel safety, while offensive gadgets typically need to be applied, thrown, or launched to be useful. So of course it's their job as defenders to stop you from using them, but why do they have to be so good at their job? And why can't someone just pull the trigger for you so at least your charge can do what it was made for? In a way, this is a lesson. Use it or lose it. Better to be out of most things and standing than be dead and your pockets full. Sometimes it's just luck of the draw. Number 5, when you get the jump on your enemy, but they have RNGESUS on their side. You're back on defense. You're roaming this time around. You have your sneaky spot. You found the enemy and they don't have a clue about you. You spring into action and let loose a flurry of bullets. You have them now, you think. When your target simply turns and pops one shot straight into your skull like a magic trick on a dark night. From watching the kill cam, you know it's legit, just luck of the bullet spread, but damn does it still hurt. Especially when it was fired from the hip blitz. Like many things on this list, it's great when you're on the living side of the trigger. To be caught unaware with your pants down and still end up the victor rocks. But boy howdy does it suck to find someone blind with their pants down and somehow still be the one to fall. In many ways you did nothing wrong, which is more than can be said for some of our other deaths. Number 6, when you know the trap's there, but you still fell for it. You know this window is a popular one. You know that the enemy knows this and probably set an entry denial device on it or a frost trap below it, but why let fear hold you back? You don't have much left on the clock and you're the only one who can push the objective in time. So you swing for the fences, rappel on in, and you miss. Or instead, land right on the mark. On the frost trap that is, and your shin gets splattered into a million pieces, your body is blown apart by an entry denial device, or maybe even electrocuted to death by some shock wire. Crazier things have happened. Either way, you're out, round over, and you can bet your bobblehead your team is going to tell you how obvious that trap was and how this is all your fault. Sometimes a trap takes you by surprise, but sometimes you're just surprised by the amount of time it takes for a signal to reach your brain and back to your hand. As Idris Elba told us, Siege is like a chess game. Sometimes the enemies are just 3 moves ahead of you, and sometimes the stupid moves are just the ones that are most unexpected. Like a frost trap set behind a deployable shield, or an EDD set in the door of the objective room, or a frost trap hidden in a mound of razor wire, or a Gersmont mine by a likely window. Hell, even defense isn't immune to this. How many times have you walked straight into a claymore that you saw coming? Maybe it was around a corner, sure, but what about that one that was put on the diffuser? Maybe that one's just me. Anyways, speaking of which, it's your turn to set up again. Number 7. When someone takes your main and just plays it horribly, you're down to the last round. It's time to take off the kid gloves and get serious. You were just practicing before, playing your lesser known heroes, but now's the time to play your best. Now's the time to play that ace up your sleeves, your main. Only to realize you can't click on their icon, because it's already grayed out thanks to one of your so-called allies. You ask them nicely in chat, but they ain't budging for one reason or another. They did pick them first, so time to pick your second or third choice. Maybe you were too busy internally monologuing about how you're going to turn this around because you believe in the heart of the siege. Maybe that's just me though. Anyway, you pick that second or third top hero of yours and you head on out. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise you. Maybe they'll play really well, carry your team, and turn the tide. And you'll be grateful you gave them your main. And you'll learn a trick or two for next time. You'll be eternally grateful to your new best friend. Nah, we're just kidding. Of course they're gonna suck and do something stupid that'll just disappoint you. Whether they die first and you go, oh, of course. Or you die first and they go, haha, of course. Either way, it's gonna make you wish you could smash your face on the keyboard repeatedly. But hey, at least the match is over and you don't have to listen to that person telling you how to play your favorite character in your ear. Sure, you may have lost, but you're back in the queue. It's time for a new game with a new set of teammates, and I bet this time everything's going to work out just fine. Number 8. Can't join. Server is full. Okay. Why am I here then? Why force me to wait a minute just to kick me back to the menu again and make me restart my surge? Why not just keep me in the queue then if the server's full? Forget it. I'm just gonna call it a night. I'm done. Why do I even want to play this game? I should have gone to bed hours ago. And that's it for 8 things Rainbow Six Siege players hate. Once again, I'm your host, Alpha Lance with the Leaderboard, and thanks for watching. Any of these get you recently? Is there an annoyance of yours that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad, and if you aren't already, subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.